Hey guys, Joe Spray here. Um, Coming with an animation tutorial and a scrolling tutorial, a mini scrolling tutorial. Not gonna be really showing you that much about the scrolling, mainly the animation. So let me just show you the short animation I made in my project called Michael Vey, Prisoner of Cell 25. A book. It's based on a book by Richard Paul Parker. I mean, why did I say Parker? Richard Paul Evans. Okay. Based on Richard Paul Evans's Michael Vey, Prisoner of Cell 25. So where was I? Sorry, I had to pause it for a second. Yeah. Well, whatever. I'll just show you the animation right now. Looks really good. I believe this is the second time you've been here, Mr. Vey. But sir, it wasn't my fault. They shoved me and my locker upside down. Da-da-da. Okay, it looks really good right now. It looks like an actual cartoon other than a video game created on Scratch. I'm gonna play it one more time just because I'm proud of it. I believe this is the second time you've been here, Mr. Vey. But sir, it wasn't my fault. They shoved me and my locker upside down. Ha, never gets boring. And that's made by me, by the way. That dun dun dun. That's made by me. I made it in Finale, and this one is made by me. It's the first of the original score. These other two are just replacements for the score that I'm going to be releasing soon. And I was about to say, Scratch just crashed on me. It didn't. So, let me show you some of the animation, shall I? Let's start with Mr. Dahlstrom. So, he's talking on these first two, blah 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 blah, science and stuff, and blah blah blah, second time stuff. Then he lifts his head and bam, awesome animation. It's actually just an illusion because all I did was shorten out the hair with this one. I just shortened it up, brought it up some, and shortened up the shadow too, and added some eyes. And had to pause again. Sorry. Yes, it's an illusion. I just brought it up some. I added some eyes. I lengthened the nose a little bit, as you see here, and I stretched this part. Just stretch it up some. Same thing here. It's lengthened the nose, stretch that stuff up some. Made the eyes more glossy and bigger, and brought the eyes up. And then I made the hair smaller and shrunk it down. Michael was harder because it's more like drawing a sprite or animating a sprite rather than animating an actual cutscene. So his animations were harder and more detailed. So, start with Michael standing here, kind of looking upset. Then he brings his arms up, nothing else, nothing special, his eyebrows up. He brings his arms and his shirt up. And if you didn't want it to know, there's tons of layers in here. There's not like 3 or something small. Then he brings his other thing up, and it kind of slows down. It's like he's fast, then it slows down. And he stays in that position for a little bit. So he talks, goes back and forth, and back and forth. Then he goes back, and then he goes down. He brings his arms down slowly, because he's proved a point. Puts them back down the other side, and talks again. Then it goes to Dahlstrom's Stare of Death. And if you wanted to know, this is all actually in the book unchanged. I changed nothing about this. It's all actually in the book, not that. This is all in the book. He actually says, he actually, let me look at the book, because I always have a copy of the book next to me. He says, I believe this is the second time you've been in my office this month. Well, I took away this month, I guess. And then he says, well, that's all it says. And then, Michael Vey says, But sir, it wasn't my fault. They shoved me inside my locker upside down, and he actually says after that there were three of them, and they're a lot bigger than me, a lot bigger. So I just took that part away to shorten out animation time. But that's actually pretty good for animation. So we've gone through half the video right now, and we're gonna look at some scrolling. So this is scroll part 1, and I think this is really good scrolling here because it's vector, and I haven't seen a vector scrolling project on Scratch at all. I mean a vector XY scrolling on Scratch. So, I think I have it first. And it's actually pretty detailed because I have some posters on the wall here. This one says, go team, participate at the game this Friday for free, tickets to the dance. And this one says what the book says. There's actually sentence in the book that says there was a poster right here. Go Warriors, seek the Vikings. And then we have the code right here, which is pretty easy to see right here. When I receive play game, or when I receive whatever your command is, show, switch the costume, whatever. It technically you don't have to do switch the costume. I was doing clone testing, so I did that. Forever set X to scroll X, which is this scroll, plus 480 times 0, scroll Y, plus 360 times 0, because this is the length of the screen is 480, the actual X length is 480, and the actual Y length is 360. So, we're gonna Michael. We're gonna go to all his stuff for the scrolls. When left arrow key pressed, if not this pressed, because it's the scroll level, change scroll X by 3, and then right arrow change scroll X by -3. Up arrow change scroll X by -1, and then repeat until scroll X equals 0, scroll Y equals 0, change scroll Y by 1. Stutter. Okay. So, yeah, that's basically it on scrolling, and you just add 1 to this or whatever. You add 1 to it. You add 1 to each one that there's going to be next. So, for example, this first one, and then the second one over here, and then the third one, which would say 2. So this one says 0, this one says 1, this one says 2, and then it blocks you off by the time you get to 2 right here. So yes, that's it basically. So I'm gonna go over here and show you some of the stuff over here. This is the editing one where I see how things look when I'm editing them, and then okay, so I'm back, and I'm just going to say before I close out, I'm going to show you how the game looks right now. Okay, so it's kind of slow full screen. Sorry about that. When I was away, I added a jump feature, so now you can jump. Just stop, slow down. I'm just gonna go like this. Changing the resolution here. There you go. Alright. It should work. Alright, it should work now. There you go. Okay. Here we go. Here's the door. I believe this is the second time you've been here, Mr. Vey. But sir, it wasn't my fault. They shoved me in my locker upside down. So I guess that's it right now. That's it at least until I can add some more. So I'll be back with test 2. Goodbye.